Hi guys, and welcome to a quick video from the South Slim Nasty. You're probably wondering where all my daily content's gone. Alright, as you can see in the background, and as you can probably tell from the quality of this webcam, and well, the webcam's alright, but the sound's probably crap. We have a bit of a technical issue, so if you don't follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Patreon, you're not going to know about this. But 6 days ago, I tried to update my BIOS, and I thought it'd be alright because I've got a backup BIOS on the thing and you can always go back, which was okay, but for some reason the motherboard decided to update both of them at the same time and will not let me go back to a previous version. And the new version, or any of the new versions, F6 or F7 variants on my motherboard, which is a Gigabyte Z97X SOC, by the way, not the Force, just the SOC. Yeah, it does not like the F6 or F7 for whatever reason at all. I've been going back for 6 days with various people, with Gigabyte Direct. Their tech support team have been quite helpful. I've had a lot going backwards and forwards with them, but nothing like computes. At one point, we even lost output, so couldn't even get output to get into the BIOS. We've managed to resolve that. Can get into the BIOS, but no matter what settings and what configurations we set the PC up as, I cannot get in to anything. I can get into the BIOS, and that's as far as I can get. I can adjust all the settings in the BIOS, but like trying to boot off of a USB stick, trying to boot off of DVD-ROM, or Blu-ray, or whatever you want to call it. It's Blu-ray drive, but it's DVD-ROMs I think I'm booting from. Or from a hard drive, will not do it. So currently I'm running 1 stick of RAM and a CPU in there. No graphics card. I've unplugged all the SATA drives and literally tried just to boot like install media from a USB stick, and it doesn't even like that. It just flops out with an IRQL exception error for some reason. I just go around in circles with it. It's absolute madness. I've tried different memory. As I say, I've tried graphics card out, onboard graphics. I've tried different hard drives. I've even tried Windows 7 boot media, which I've installed on many PCs. Stick it in the DVD-ROM with a empty blank hard drive connected to the machine, and it won't even do it. It goes so far and then just IRQLs. So it looks like the motherboard is faulty in some way and doesn't accept the latest BIOSes for whatever reason, which means it's probably going to get RMA'd all the way back to Gigabyte. I'm waiting to hear on that. I've messaged them again late last night, about 9 o'clock. I got a reply from them about 8:10 last night, actually, which is quite good. But I replied to them late last night. Haven't heard anything back today, and it's now like 5 p.m. But again, like I say, it was like gone 8 o'clock when they replied yesterday. They replied all through yesterday, which was quite good. But today, I've not been getting any replies. So, motherboard's probably going to go back. So, at the moment, the main PC, this one, completely out of action. Can't do anything with it. As a backup, I've kind of been trying to test what will run on my MacBook Pro, which is an i7, but there's about a third of my games will run on it, and they don't run that good, to be honest, and it makes the laptop super hot. I've still got my i5 rig, but that was completely wiped and has another issue that's developed anyway, which I've got to figure out. But that is like a backup plan, but I really don't want to be like installing everything back onto the i5 and trying to pull my save games off of here onto there unless I have to. So I'm probably going to wait for a week or so to try and get this board back to Gigabyte, get them to inspect it, and hopefully either fix it or replace it. I'm hoping they still have a stock. But being an old 1150 LGA socket, they probably don't. Now, they may be able to flash the BIOSes back to the older versions, even though I can't. It looks like you'll be able to get like a chip writer that plugs over the top of the BIOS chips and then physically allows you to write to those and overwrite the sort of command setting that they've embedded for some reason on F6 and F7 variants to prevent you from going back to the older version. Something I believe to do with the microcode, but I don't know. So yeah, as of now, it's kind of in Gigabyte's hands to come back to me and say, like, okay, we'll take the board back, we'll have a look at it. It's still under warranty, by the way. It should be. It's 3-year warranty on it, I believe. So waiting to hear back from him on that. If it can't be sorted and they can't provide an 1150 replacement, there are a couple, and I do mean literally a couple of boards lying around on the internet for reasonable money that I could probably go out and buy a replacement board. Now, and when I say that, they pretty much have got similar features to mine. There's one that's almost identical to my board. Now, it's got to be an 1150 socket. It's got to have at least 6 SATA ports on it, preferably 8, but it definitely has to have 6, otherwise I can't run all my hard drives. It needs to have 4 memory DDR3 socket. That will accept Kingston HyperX Beast 2400 MHz RAM, and believe me, you have to check that RAM is compatible. This memory is compatible, and I've tried the memory out of my old system, which apparently I'm not even sure if that is meant to be compatible or not, but it should be compatible because it's slower than this. But neither will work, not even with one stick. Look, I've got literally sticks of RAM sat on my desk here, 3 of them. The 4th one is obviously in the PC, so it's got 1 stick of RAM. It doesn't like that. So I'm not looking for you guys to like throw out suggestions. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Because believe me, I've tried everything. I've tried UEFI, I've tried legacy mode, I've tried IDE, I've tried SATA, I've tried disconnecting everything and just running a basic setup. I've tried different memory chips. I've tried different configurations of RAM. Trust me, I've tried just about everything you can think of, and like even Gigabyte are saying it probably warrants a visual inspection of the actual motherboard. There could be something damaged on it that's just not come up until I put F6 on it, and F7. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. So the board's probably going to go back. So I'm not looking for suggestions from you guys. So don't like spam millions of content. So just all I'm asking really is your patience for a few weeks. Now, assuming they can't fix it and they can't find me a replacement, I don't know what happens there because it's still under warranty. They may provide me a newer motherboard, which would create a massive headache for me because, like, buying another i7 and DDR4 RAM is not cheap at the moment. You're looking at about 800 quid to get the equivalent of what I've got in here. I really don't want to go down those lines. I'd rather just go out and buy 150 quid's worth of 1150 motherboard, even if it's old spec, and do it that way. That's cheaper for me. I've been kind of like, if you've been on Twitter, you might have seen me post out a few posts to people like Kingston, Intel, and even Asus and Gigabyte to say, hey, do you want to sponsor the channel with some new hardware, guys? I'm not going to hold my breath out for any of that because I'm just not big enough, nowhere near big enough. But you never know. You wait and see. So at the moment, like, you can imagine my frustration. 6 days without playing games. Well, I've played a couple of games, but like limited gameplay on my Mac. But 6 days without my main PC, and it's going to get longer. So all I ask, as I say, is a little bit of patience. I will get the channel back up and running as soon as I can, but obviously Twitch and YouTube for the moment isn't going to get a lot of new content, which is so frustrating because just before this went down, I managed to get a copy of Railway Empire, which I was going to bring to the channel. So I was just, play testing that a little bit, getting used to the mechanics of the game to try and say, right, here's a series on that. And I'm trying to secure more content for the channel as well. but it's all reliant on this one machine. This is like the fail point of the channel is this machine here at the moment. So don't know what's going to happen over the next few weeks. As I say, go and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon, because that's where I'm posting. I'm trying to post out daily like updates now to everybody as to what's been going on and where we're at. But it's not a quick fix by the looks of it. So it could be down for it could be down a few more days. It could be down to the end of the week. It could be down next week. It could be down the weekend. It could be months. I don't know. Hopefully not months. Seriously, I will sort something out before then. Even if I have to, as I say, go back to the i5. If I know this is a non-starter, then I will sort out the i5 and get something up and running. I just don't want to downgrade the quality of the channel again. I want to keep the momentum going. I want to keep the quality going. And obviously I've got the good mic I can transfer across, which isn't much of a hassle. It's the quality of the video. But again, I can put my 980 Ti if it will fit in that case. If not, everything out of that old case has got to come and put in this case. So you can imagine that's a lot of work to do, which I'm reluctant to do until I know what is completely wrong with this board. So I'm kind of like hinging on Gigabyte here. Gigabyte, if you see this, please, can you put mine at the top of the pile or near the top of the pile? You know what I mean? Right, but that's all I've got to really say, guys, because like it's balked. Partly my fault because I listened to the advice of Gigabyte to say that it should resolve the issue that I was having with it, and of course, for some reason, it updated both, which it shouldn't have done. It should have left the old one at F4. Should have left the backup at F4 so I could reinstall that, but alas, no. So that's where we are. So guys, be patient with us, and I will get back something soon. And I will, as I say, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and if you want, follow me on Patreon as well, because I am putting the odd update on there as well. It's pretty much the same, but like I try to keep those guys informed because they help me out financially, the guys that actually pay on Patreon, and they have done for a long time, the guys over there. So I try and help them out a bit more, or not help them out, but keep them a bit more informed. But guys, just like keep your fingers crossed. If anybody has got an 1150 Gigabyte Z97 SOC going spare that works on an F4 revision of the BIOS, please let me know. You never know. You never know. So one of you might have one. I have found a couple, but they're expensive. So it looks like it'd be an alternative motherboard, which may or may not clash with the colour scheme. But we'll worry about that later. Guys, that's all I've got for you at the moment. So keep your fingers crossed, and we'll get back up and running with something soon. I promise. I'm literally just, as I say, I'm going to wait to hear from what Gigabyte's going to say and how long the process of sending the motherboard back and checking it is. Then once I get an idea as to how long that process is going to take, I'll make a decision on what I'm going to do. So I shall speak to you guys hopefully soon. Bye-bye for now.